we are Langara College, located in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Okay. I will start with territorial acknowledgements. Snøveslenen, Langara College, acknowledges its location on the unceded traditional territory of Musqueam First Nation. Langara was honored to receive a name from Musqueam directly in their language, Snøveslenen. You see this logo besides Langara logo all the time. So I think you're familiar with this logo. And this means House of Teachings. So the word is used to reference the advice given to the child to build their character and to guide them into adulthood. So it's a perfect name for Langara College. And I would like to start with welcome message from the college and the faculty members, staff, and current and former students.
From our amazing faculty who are dedicated to helping you succeed, to our global team who support your transition to living and learning in a new city and culture. Now is the time to begin your journey of transformation, and we can't wait to welcome you to beautiful Vancouver, Canada.
Langara is a launching pad. We're small enough that we can interact with all of our students and get to know them on a name-by-name basis, but we're also large enough that we can provide a world-class facility and education.
Langara provides a wealth of services to brand new international students, starting from pre-arrival all the way up to graduation.
We offer counseling services for students who want to eventually transfer into university. We also offer immigration advising for these students who have questions about, postgraduate work permits.
They can help you with your mental health, they can help you with your academic choices, but overall they really helped me ease into Vancouver and Canada as a whole.
My favorite thing about Langara is the instructors.
I feel like there's much more access to instructors here because we have small classes and we are here because we want to teach.
The ability to meet one-on-one with students or in small groups is something that makes teaching much more enjoyable.
What is unique to Langara is the fact that our faculty are heavily invested in seeing the student, seeing what they need so that they can reach their end goal.
Langara is a really diverse community. We have students here from all over the world. I think it adds to the atmosphere in the classroom.
I was able to learn about cultures from all over the world, and I was able to share with other students, and I was able to gain leadership skills and communication skills.
If you want to come to Langara, I would say one thing that makes Langara stand out is it's very easy to find your community.
Students can see that we truly embrace, what it means to be a Canadian institution that is open to the world.
Langara has been one of the best choices I've ever made in my life.
I'm happy that I decided to come to Langara College because I met amazing people, I learned a lot.
So if you're considering Langara, I would like to let you know that I had a great experience here, and if I have to choose again, I would choose Langara every time.
Yes, if you want to have a copy of this video, let me know. I can send you the link. And so, as I said, Langara College is located in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Canada, size-wise, is the second largest country in the world. However, population is only 40 million. And the population ranking, we were 38th. And the GDP ranking is 9th in the world. So we are have a big economy and a quite wealthy country. And our population now, we are experiencing aging population. Median age in Canada is 40 years old. So currently, baby boomers who are in their late 50s and 60s are retiring. So that's why Canada will maybe face the severe labor shortage if we don't accept more immigrants. Okay. And why Vancouver? So this is exactly what the Vancouver looks like. If you have been here, you agree how beautiful Vancouver is. Canada's third largest city, and it has been ranked many times as a top livable city in the world. But the last year, our ranking was number 5. And in BC, though, median age is even a bit older, 42.8 years old. So that means that we're even need more new people to come to BC to fill the skills shortage gap. And unemployment rate in BC is 5.2. It's usually lower than average cities in Canada, which means we have more jobs than any average city in Canada. So this is Langara. Why Langara? You could sense it from the video that student and instructors is very work closely, and our class size is quite small. Average size is 29 students per class, and you, as you saw in the video, we have quite innovative buildings and facilities, and we do have a welcoming and multicultural community. And location is probably number one selling point for Langara. We are located in the center of Vancouver City. So if you arrive in the international airport, there is a SkyTrain. It's like a subway line, connects to downtown. In the middle, there is a station called Langara 49th Avenue Station. And it's only one block to walk to the campus. And the campus looks like this, and you see a lot of greenery. And in front of college, you see the big greenery, and that is Langara Golf Course. And we are located in the residential area. And in the top, you see you probably saw earlier the high-rise buildings. That's the downtown. So taking a SkyTrain, it's only take 15 minutes to get to downtown, and a lot of students work part-time while they were studying. And we have 8 buildings on campus, and we do have a 19,000 student studies in the year, and 30% of that is international student coming from 95 countries. Oops. Okay. We are public community college, and this is slightly different from college in your country. We do offer many credentials. So it's not only certificate, diploma, associate degree. We offer bachelor's degree and post-degree diploma programs, which you learned today. And we teach academic English program on campus. Okay, so in total, we have 17,000 courses and 140 programs. These are the popular programs for international student. Obviously, I cannot list 140 programs here, so I just handpicked the programs that are popular for international student. And the PDD means post-degree diploma. So we are today highlighting in the science and technology and also arts faculty offering this program, a post-degree diploma in web and mobile development and design. Now, before handing this over to Tyler, I want to, do you see the website?
Yes. No, but
yes.
it disappeared, but it was, yes, we could see it before.
Yeah, okay. So I just want to let you know how to find the program information. This is Langara website. You go to langara.ca and the program and courses, and a web and mobile program. And so overview, if you have time later, please try to watch these videos. It's about the capstone project that the student will do in the 4th semester. And let's see the admission requirements. So admission requirement, international student, they have to have a bachelor's degree. Okay, so this bachelor's degree can be in any discipline. And so you do not have to have computer science bachelor's degree to come into this program. Your bachelor's degree can be any discipline. And the English language requirement is category 2. So in the category 2, we ask IELTS 6.5, no band less than 6. And if you do not have an IELTS score, you can write to Duolingo. We accept TOEFL. Or you can try to do our ESL program on campus and then try to get the conditional admission into web and mobile application diploma. Now, program curriculum, also you can see here all the details Taylor are going to talk about. And I just wanted to highlight all the alumni interviews. I think there are many of them here. So there are highlighting what they learned, their experience, and also outcome of after they completed the program. So I highly recommend you to watch it. Although we can get to hear 2 students' experience today online. Anyways, I'm gonna hand this over to Tyler.
Thank you, Tomoe. Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Tyler Higgs. I'm one of the many instructors at Langara in our program, and I'm going to go over the curriculum for our program. And conscious of time, I will be going through it a little bit quickly, but I would encourage you in sending us questions as I'm going through here. You don't have to wait till the end. So if you have questions, send them over so that we can get them together and make sure that we can get as many answered as possible at the end of the session. Just to double check, everyone can see my shared screen. Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Perfect. Thank you. So I'm going to go over each of the terms, what they're involved, and give a little bit of background around our program. So here, as Tomoe mentioned, there is some prerequisites for getting into the program. The length of the program we can see here, tuition, requirements, and of course the location. You saw we're quite spoiled with where we are in Langara, located in Vancouver, and just Vancouver in general. It's always quite nice here, except when it rains. But aside from that, it's quite nice to be on campus quite a bit. It does foster a great learning environment in our classes especially when we're collaborating. So moving on to our program highlights, as mentioned, our program is a little unique in that when we bring students to WMDD, at the start, you don't have to decide, am I going to be on design side, development side? Sometimes you do not know what you gravitate towards, or you may think you're going towards design, and then later you discover, you know what, this is actually really interesting HTML, CSS class. I'm getting into JavaScript. This is something that you can now switch over time, and we'll get into a little bit more later. But here in these highlights, you can see the design focus, the development focus is all about getting those strong foundations, those basics in there, and then building upon those basics to become much more thorough, detailed, and become really great designers, really great developers, and to add to that, and this is where our program really becomes a lot more fun, as we combine the development design stream together into projects. And these project classes are what help us stand out, where we simulate the working environment, what is going to be expected when you leave Langara from our program and go right into the workforce. What's that going to like working with designers, working with developers, collaborating, communicating, working through conflict, all these details. This is part of what we do here with our project classes, and we're fortunate here with two students joining us today from our program, one in project 2 and one in capstone, which we'll see details of later on, where they can even speak to some of that experience of when everybody's working separately and comes together, what's needed to make these projects happen. So a little bit of Vancouver. It's some people, we call us the tech of the north here, coming up from stateside, which is quite true. Where it's always growing, the technology sector, and the really neat thing with WMDD is that we adapt and grow with it. So as technology changes, it's always changing. New things are coming out like AI. Everyone's excited about AI, either excited or scared of AI. We embrace that into our program and see how can we use this as a tool. And how can we make our life better, easier, or make it work for us so that our lives can be, or our time can be put into something else. This is something that technology is always moving forward with, and being in Vancouver is being part of where that tech sector is and where that growth is happening. So we are quite fortunate in that Langara is located right here, and that's where all this tech is happening. All right, so a little overview, and not every single company is here. There's so many companies, but some of the big ones. So some of these names you will recognize, of course, Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, Meta, Salesforce, SAP. These are some of the huge enterprise companies that are local to us here. They have their own studios. A lot of them very big studios, or multiple campuses, even like Microsoft. Myself spending time in some of their studios, where they have different kind of divisions, and these are all just more opportunities for you when you finish with us, whether you're a designer, developer, or maybe you're in between, you want to be a technical designer, something like that. There's so much possibility here for the different business types. So it's always growing in Vancouver. There's no end of kind of the growth of technology. So here we can see quite a few, not just companies you might recognize around the globe, but even local ones like TELUS or like ICBC, our local insurance for British Columbia. These are all different kind of levels of business, from startup all the way up to like an enterprise level, hundreds of thousands of employees kind of businesses that are always looking for some kind of tech talent. And not only are they looking for that tech talent, they're looking for the tech talent that is ready to go as soon as they come into that studio. And that's what we do in the classroom, is we prepare the students for that communication, for that tech knowledge, that design development knowledge, so that when they go into the company, even for that interview stage, they are ready to hit the ground running and become that much more attractive candidate. And that makes a difference, and we've seen that term to term, where when companies they see our former students going in there for interviews, they are just standing out because they have that experience. They can speak to that experience, and this is what we as faculty want to see, and it validates what we're doing here. But of course, it's always exciting to see that our students succeed. Starting off at the beginning of the course, and we have different levels that you go through, and at the start, everyone begins, as mentioned, at kind of the same level. So you don't have to come in with any kind of prior knowledge. If you're coming in with completely different background, that's fine, because we're going to start everyone at the foundation level. And here we can see that students have not yet chosen their stream. They haven't decided designer or developer, so you're learning a little bit of everything. And this is so important, especially for folks like myself as an instructor from industry, still in industry, where we can see the difference of when designers and developers understand what each other's roles are, what they do, what is involved. And that just makes you a better designer and makes you a better developer, and all around a better business, better communication for a better end product. So here at the beginning, we have all of our foundations in graphics, our foundation is HTML, CSS, and everyone's working together here. So we're all learning a little bit about what goes into the technology side, and everyone gets to get that strong base. Now, moving into the second term, this is where you will see a little bit of that division begin. And we will still have a lot of shared classes. You can see here that only one class on either side of the design and development stream is starting to separate, where they're beginning the specialization. Now, we'll see a little bit later on in some slides where we can make a choice where if you want to switch streams later on, that is possible. But most of the time, in most cases, not always, everybody, of course, but you come in that first term, you start to get into a groove. You understand, okay, I'm liking more of the design side, UI, UX, or you're wanting to work more into the technology side of development. You'll get that idea. So here you can start to see that specialization, but most of the classes are still shared. And this is where, again, we're building on top of that foundation. It's not just one term, you have to have the second term where we're adding more. What is that next level of learning that you need to have involved here? And then also group work. So here we're getting our first integrated project, and we call this project 1, where the students don't just work on their own, they have to collaborate. And there are 3 different projects that the students will collaborate in this program: project 1, project 2, and of course the capstone, their final project. Now this first one is where, like all 3 projects, students will come up with that idea and start that idea from scratch, nothing to begin with, and we give them constraints, whether it's on the technology, the platform. We make sure that they get that simulation of that work environment, that collaborative process, and that's going to be starting here in your second term in that integrated project. And we actually had that that project 1 demonstration last weekend, along with project 2 last weekend, but we're going to talk a little bit more about the capstone coming up next week. And I encourage everyone, if you have the time, to definitely join us for that one virtually, because it gives you a really great taste and sense of what WMDD is about. So moving into our third term, this is where one of our students has just finished their project 2 presentation. We add a little bit more on top. We add that a little bit more complexity, because of course we're here not only to learn, but challenge ourselves, make sure that we're pushing ourselves a little bit more to get ready for that industry. So here we can see it's a little bit of a flip from that second term, where there are more classes now separated and fewer classes grouped together. So designers are now really getting into those deep details of design, the fun parts of design. I would say same thing with development. They get into the deep parts, the really fun part of development, especially here. They're getting into a lot more fun development kind of scenarios, challenges, and situations that they have to solve. And design side, they're getting to explore different kind of technologies that maybe you didn't think about before. So even here, like, so we can see some with the graphic design, the UX design, 3D, eventually that will lead into even some other different, more exploratory design programs in their final term. But as a group, the designers and developers, because they're divided in a lot of their classes, now are rejoining in just these 2 classes. And these 2 classes, the one really big one here, the project 2 class, is where again they're going to collaborate. Now, the project that they started in their second term does not continue into the third one. Each term they're starting a brand new project from scratch, and it's usually around 12 weeks that we have these projects. And if we think about the conceptual phase, the research, the marketing, all those little details, really you have about 10 weeks to go from nothing to a deliverable minimum viable project or a product or MVP that is working, code driven, and that's what you display and present to in the case of project 2, some former students, sometimes there's faculty there, but you're presenting it just as you would to investors, and you have all the same documentation, the same research, the same marketing. And that's what project 2 is about, where we make sure they have that constraint of working in web, working with databases, and everybody gets that taste. So from project 1, project 2 into capstone, we're getting our students into each of them into different sides of the industry, so that when they leave, they're prepared to work, whether it be on web, mobile, SaaS, all kinds of different technology. They are prepared. They're not worried about what's coming next. It's what is that challenge and how can I take on that challenge? So we can see here in project 2, this is where we start to add more constraints, constraints always being a good thing. We want to see, how do you work with that very fixed amount of information, with that very fixed time frame, and then what can you execute in that time? And like I said, our 2 students here, they've gone through this in their projects already, so they can speak to a lot of these details. And it's a very, very aggressive timeline. And this is of course, because we only have so much time within a term, but also if we think about the students in that interview process later on, when they can speak to the level of work that they have completed, like we see here in this project too, this is just such a great showcase to those interviewers when they see this candidate is able to do so much work while doing other classes and complete this high quality, this high polish. Every term it seems to get better, and that makes them that much more attractive as a candidate. Why wouldn't I hire this person is kind of what comes up, and that's what we want to hear every single time. Now, thinking into their final term here, this is where a lot of the pressure comes. Of course, you're getting near the end, but also we can see the classes are completely flipped. We can say almost from the very beginning. Designers are getting even deeper into their different design toolkits, developers getting even deeper, especially now they get to explore native development here in Android and iOS. Again, trying to give them that taste of every single bit of development as possible, so that they're prepared. And then only one class now where they're shared, everyone comes together for capstone. So we think about that 1 week in the student's life, in their student life there's only that one day of the week where they get to collaborate and get with that group. And again, this is a brand new project in capstone where they have to really take those communication skills, the design development skills, the collaborative skills, problem solving, even if it's conflict within a team, deciding what colors to use, which tech stack to use. They have to build upon that previous project 2 and project 1 to really deliver on this capstone, because there are so fewer classes where they overlap together in as students as a group. So this really puts them onto that added pressure to make sure that they are honing those skills, and not only that, they're continuously working on them. So we want to make sure that by the time they finish their capstone, again, a great presentation is what we always want for their portfolio on both sides of the design development, but that preparation for the field. And that is what we want as instructors to bring to our students, so that they are prepared and they are bringing that preparation to those interviews, to those workplaces, and we want that reflection to continue. So with the capstone project, and we have this coming up actually next week on the 15th. There will be some details coming up on some slides. So in case you have some questions, those are coming up, absolutely. And here the capstone is a little bit different, where they are not just designing, developing from scratch. And about, in this case, this year this term was 13 weeks. But in those 13 weeks, they have to create everything, including marketing, promotional materials, video often. And then when they present it next week on the 15th, they will be presenting off campus. This is UBC Robson Square downtown, and they are presenting in an auditorium just like they would to investment for investors, if they were pitching or something like that, but they'll be presenting to real industry. So we have industry lined up there as panelists to watch, review, give feedback. And this is that added level of pressure and detail, but also it helps to kind of give a lot of validity to what we do here on our side instruction, but also mainly to the students, that what they have done is industry level. And honestly, sometimes a little bit above industry level, I would say, with the timeline involved. But it's just so cool every term to see what they're able to put together in such a short amount of time. And every term, when we have industry talk to us after at the event, they're always blown away, not just by the amount of work that's done in that timeline, but the quality, because they see that this is not just a visual prototype, it is tech driven, it is using the hardware, using the software, and it is rooted in real problem solving. And that is what we do with design and development for technologies. We're always solving a problem. Sometimes the problem is boredom or entertainment, but we are solving a problem nonetheless using technology. And that's what we get our students with these projects every single term. And coming up next week, we've got 6 different projects, all mobile, all solving a different use case, all look different, all have chosen different tech stacks, and that is all the students' choice. our side on the instruction is only to guide. We don't get in there and code, we don't get in there and design. We are there to guide them and help them reach that success, not only in their projects, but also in their personal work, so that they have strong portfolios when they go, when they leave, I should say, they're finished their program with us. Now, speaking of that, where do they go after they graduate? So I would say this is a small sample, even of where they can go, whether it be on design stream or development stream. And with technology, especially in Vancouver, based on where we're located, there's even more than this as design development spreads out into video, television, games, all kinds of different industries. There's so much crossover. So the opportunities are not just what we see here. This is a small sample, I would say. And then there's always growth and always, of course, new roles that have come up. With the emergence of AI, there are now new roles just around that, but they don't just want someone in these companies that have an understanding of AI. They want someone to have a design and development and technology background in combination with that. And that's where, with our program, we're able to embrace new technology and bring that into projects to prepare our students, or if they're interested in something, we encourage that to bring that into their projects and get involved and see what they can build, and within the time frame, of course, but we want to try and get them to challenge themselves and work within that time. So that's a very quick, I know it was quick, overview of our terms there. So now I'll go over just a few of the kind of the highlight questions. And again, if you have more questions, do throw them up there in the chat, and hopefully we can answer as many as we can in the time. So as mentioned by Tomoe, there is a prior knowledge assessment that is required. There is all the standard kind of expectations with a post-secondary institution. We have, of course, so many seats. We have only so many classes we can do a term, but we do our best, term to term, to make sure we get everybody in there and get it as balanced as possible, of course. And a lot of students you'll hear about, they like to do part-time work, or they want, have different choices, the number of classes. We're always focused first and foremost on the learning aspect. So we understand a lot of students will want to have a part-time job, but learning first. This is what we encourage here, and that's what is referenced here, and that's schedules for travel. Of course, we get homesick, things like that. But there are some fixed dates, just like our capstone event. There are fixed dates for exams, and there are expectations around if you're going to work. We want to balance that with being able to get to class. So speaking of our class and our streams, this is what I mentioned a little bit about before. So you can switch your stream, and that can be done quite early. That can be done quite late. It is your choice. But just remember that if you, let's say you started as a developer and then you want to switch to a designer, we have 2 design stream students with us today. But let's say if they wanted to switch, you can do that. But it does mean that, as we saw all those different classes across the different terms, it may mean you have to take a lot of those extra courses. So do keep that in mind. If you are thinking about switching streams, reach out to our coordinator here with us today, Jessica. Of course, can help you out with that when you come to understand better, when can I switch streams? Should I switch streams? When would be best? Any of those kind of inquiries are always we're here to answer that. Now with the schedule, we do run a full-time program here as a standard every single term. So that expectation, that we have is reflected into that classroom. So we expect, folks are in the classroom, active participant in the classroom. We run our classes like a standard Monday to end of the week schedule throughout the day. And the amount of a lot of questions that come up is around the amount of time to put in. So is everything covered in class? There's a percentage covered in class, but there's also an expectation of a percentage of work outside of the class, whether that be studying, research, your own work on your portfolio, your design studies, your development studies. So with that in mind, if you are going to do any kind of part-time work, I would first, consider your education there, the cost of your education, not only in time, but also financially. It is quite expensive to continuously repeating a class. You don't want to do that. You want to make sure that you have a high success rate, good high quality work, so that you can finish on time or as on time as possible and have a strong portfolio at the end. So many of these questions, if you have more, do reach out. But as mentioned, this is the expectation from us on the instructional side, that you're there, you're ready to learn week to week, because we are there ready to teach week to week, and we will give as much as we can to you on the instructional side, of course. Now for our capstone event, and we have a few slides for these here. So if you want to write them down, screenshot, there will be some QR codes that come up as well. You can join this, of course, in person if you're in Vancouver, but I encourage everyone to join virtually. There is no limit for virtual joining on this event. It will be done live through video, and if you're unable to join us due to the time when we are airing this, no worries on that as well. We do record it, and then we post it up on our YouTube channel. And along with our different events that we've coverage that we have posted, we do post some student testimonials, we've done some interviews, so do check that out. But if you can join us virtually next week, it is Thursday, Vancouver time. It will be there in person, but virtually, I would encourage you to join us and get an idea of what the program leads to. And Nikhil, who has joined us here today, will be among those presenters, which will be great to see. So there's that QR code. I'll leave that on screen for a little bit. Any of this information, if you are not able to get it by the end of our info session here, do reach out, and we'll try to get you that info, the Zoom links and the digital links to join us. But again, these are the virtual tickets. You'll see that event right there, but there's no limit on virtual attendance. Moving on from Capstone, there is also a WMDD website. Now, this one is not just about the program. This is a reflection of a lot of the student projects. So a lot of our student projects are uploaded here. You can see what they have done in the past, what is involved. And it's not just building apps and building websites. It's a lot of research, a lot of materials that have to be covered, a lot of documentation. And when we post these links, especially for Capstone and Project 2, a lot of the research and documentation is right up there, an RFP at industry level for proposed software to be built. So the work that these students are doing term to term that you can see up on this link is right up there with industry expectations. And a lot of that comes from, as mentioned in that video, the passion from the instructional side, where so many of us come from industry. We want to bring that knowledge, bring that work ethic and expectation to the classroom. So here is the link to our YouTube channel. As mentioned before, you can see some past videos on there. You'll hear me talking on there. I talk a lot sometimes, but I do encourage you to check out all three of the links, and the same thing with what Tomoe was presenting at the beginning, so you can get a really strong idea of what to expect when you come here to learn in our program. So I believe that brings us to the end there. Tomoe, back to you.
Oh, thank you very much. I think I will be in town next Thursday, so I will go to Robson Square. I know exactly where it is. Yeah, we'll see you guys in person. And I'm so looking forward to seeing their capstone project. Yeah. Anyways, I have posted event registration link, as well as a website that Taylor just talked about in the end. That website is different from what I showed you in the beginning. So the link is on the chat. And before we interview our current student, I just wanted to let you know that any questions come to your mind, you can ask it. You don't have to, you can ask it now on the Q&A box. You don't have to wait until the end. Webinar tend to happen like everybody asks questions in the very last minute, and then we have to cut it off because we have to finish in time. So I just don't want it to happen. So any questions you have, it doesn't have to be program specific, about the admission process and so on, about Langara, about Vancouver, anything come to your mind, please type the question on the Q&A. And also today's presentation, Tyra has given you, the copy of a slide will be sent to all of you, okay? And now, we don't want to wait any longer. So our current 2 students, Nikhil, Kanda, and also Kathreen, Nervez. Nikhil, can you introduce yourself briefly and where you're from, and also which stream you are pursuing, and what term you're in?
Sure, Tomoe. So, hi everyone, my name is Nikhil Kanda, and currently I'm in 4th term, basically in capstone, and I'm from design stream. I'm basically from India, Chennai, based out of Chennai, and I have done my bachelor's in computer commerce. I have around 5 years of work experience and work with tech giants like Freshworks, Portkey, Six Sense, staff, and IFRA. So that's all about me.
Okay, thank you. Kathreen, same for you.
Hi, hello. I'm Kathreen Nervez, and I'm from the Philippines. I came here in the fall semester of last year to study the WMDD designer stream, and I'm already in my 3rd term. Excited for the capstone next term. So that's it. That's it for me.
Okay. And then Nikhil, you were in the 4th semester, so you are really working on it, and you're going to present next week.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be there. All right. Okay. So, may I ask? This question is for Nikhil. May I ask why you chose Langara?
Langara is basically a well-reputed college in Vancouver. I love Vancouver because it's so beautiful, and Langara IT, domain is growing. So, Vancouver IT domain is growing, and I found like Langara has all the skills that all the curriculum programs which I'm looking for. Though I have some experience in past, but I thought to just polish it. I found like Langara has all those courses available. So that's the reason I chose Langara. And while searching for college in Vancouver, I found all the instructors have good experience. They're award-winning instructors and have enough industry experience, so that I thought like learning from these kind of instructors help a lot in terms of gaining skills, right? And again, it's in prime location. As I said, Vancouver is beautiful. I always, move to Vancouver, so I thought that just Langara is one of the options there. I tried finding other colleges, but sadly, I didn't find anything which serves all the, courses that I was looking for.
Okay, thank you. Kathreen, can you talk a little bit about your background and also why you chose this program and how you are finding our program?
So my background is I worked as a UI designer back home. So I have like 4 years experience already. And I wanted to expand my knowledge in UI and to learn how to become a UX designer. That's why I chose to study again. And I chose Langara because they have the program that I am looking to learn. It's not just because it's not just a specific for UX and UI. It is also combined with the I also learned here how to code front end, CSS and HTML and JavaScript, and it's actually what I want to learn. And I'm also interested with video editing and how to learn a video editing and video and audio. And it is the program is also covering like game design. So I'm very excited for that. That's it.
Okay. So this question is both of you. Nikhil first. What is your plan after graduating from this program?
So I started applying for job for my second term itself and doing some local projects in Vancouver. So my plan is to get a job in Vancouver itself. I got a couple of offers also. So I'm just waiting to wrap my study and get the work permit done so that I can, apply full time and move and do job full time in Vancouver itself.
Okay, thank you. How about you, Kathreen?
I plan to after this program, I plan to work as a UI and UX designer and gain experience and to practice what I learned in Langara.
Yeah. So plan to stay here to find a job. Okay. All right. Last question. It sounded very intensive, the course, and you guys are excellent students putting a lot of hours into a program. And do you have, but I just want to ask, this is a commonly asked question from the students. Do you currently work part-time, or it's possible to handle part-time work? Nikhil?
Yeah, so I'm doing 20 hours of part-time work, and luckily I got a same stream job. I'm working for one of the Toronto-based company called Revate, and I'm managing their clients in Vancouver and design requirements what they have. So far I managed like to manage both study as well as my work, part-time work. So yeah, it was little tough, but yeah, somehow I managed. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. How about you, Kathreen?
Yeah, I also work as a part-time UI designer. It's been my work ever since before I studied here. So I would say that it is manageable, but it's not for everyone because it is not. It is important to for someone to handle the pressure of studying, and on top of that, working as well. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, so last question. Do you have any message for future students? Nikhil?
Yeah, I would say just start working on your portfolio from your first term itself. I understand some of the folks, they might don't have any old experience, but you will learn a lot of things from your first term itself. So start focusing on your portfolio from the very first term, and then don't wait till fourth semester. You can start, applying for part-time small projects. If you're not able to get in Vancouver, you can get it in other provinces. Like you can try in Toronto and other places, right? You might get freelance projects, which again helps a lot to build a good portfolio. So once you've done your study, you can, use that as assets and then apply for a good job.
Thank you. Kathreen?
Yeah, I just want to add on the start working on your portfolio. So whenever you have time, example, during your break, you can give time working on your portfolio and polishing it. And then, sorry. And then work on your resume for so that after the program ends, you are ready to apply. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. It's such a valuable opinion, and I learned a lot from you today. And
Oh, sorry,
Well,
I have
yeah.
to add.
Go
It's
ahead.
important to ask questions to your professors. It's always that's also important. So yeah.
Okay, gives a thumbs up. Okay, yes. Thank you. So today's audience, a lot of them are from educational agency office. I just wanted to give you some tips of how to navigate the student's decision. And a lot of them are program outcome focused. So after the program, what type of a job can I get in BC and so on. I usually recommend agent to use this website. And this is a Work BC website. And so this Work BC website provides you a lot of information. So if you go to, and you can search by keywords, position, industry, and so on. And this website also have a researched labor market, and there is a report. It's called Labor Market Outlook Report for next 10 years. BC expecting to have about 1 million job opening in next 10 years. And 65% of these future jobs are opening because of a replacement, which means that, as I said in the beginning, baby boomers are retiring, and so these jobs has to be replaced. 35% of openings are created through the expected economic growth. So there are a lot of jobs available in BC. And this website is amazing. Over 500 career profiles are researched. And so using this website, we searched web designer, how many jobs are going to come up in the next 10 years, annual earnings, and so on. But as you can see, this site will tell you what education or skills you need for each positions, and labor market statistics. So this is another one, web developer and programmers. Annual earnings looks very good, and there's a lot of jobs coming up. So this is just a idea how to navigate the students' decision when they ask what type of a job they can get in BC. And this is additional resources that you can get sort of do a job research. So it's a BC Tech Association website as well as a DGBC website. Anyways, if you have any questions to ask, please email langaraglobal@langara.ca. And also we have a program guide listing all the programs we have. I will ask Anne to post the link to the chat. So please click on the chat, because after we finish webinar, you lose all the links. So any links that on the chat, please click it now. Okay, and also this program highlight series. Next one is Diploma in Nutrition and Food Services Management, and we are going to offer it on September 10th. And I will send you the invitation to the webinar sometime soon. Thank you very much. And
Tomoe, there is two people with their hands up.
Oh, okay. So sorry, attendees, your microphone is turned off. So if you have any questions, please enter it in Q&A. Okay, Michael, do you have any questions that we should be addressing today?
I think every question has already answered.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's time. And so I'm going to end the presentation now. But I just wanted to let you know that we are still accepting applications for January 2025 intake. And if you cannot start in January, next intake will be May 2025. And for audience from Canada, if you have a valid study permit right now and you want to start in September, there might be a space. So please contact us directly. Again, it's Langara Global at langara.ca, or I think all of you have one of our members' email address. So thank you again for participating program highlight series webinar, and you have a good day or good afternoon or good night. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Tomoe.